You've probably heard before that nice people finish last. Maybe you've even experienced it. I know I sure did. And when you say it that way, it doesn't sound fair, does it? Why is it that nice people, which we assume are good people, finish last, end up rejected, not getting what they want out of life? Does that mean that bad people finish first? Well, that's not it. What we have to figure out is what is hiding, lurking behind the being too nice tendency, and how is that actually creating the problems, the rejections, the failure, the frustration, the unfulfillment that a lot of those people experience in their lives. And we have to understand that the people who tend to finish first in their life, living fulfilling, happy life, is people who have a healthy self-image, meaning they feel worthy, they have a strong sense of confidence, identity, and self-love. And so in this video, we're going to look at the real reason behind why is it that nice people finish last? Why is it that they end up friend-zoned and rejected and unfulfilled and not achieving the things that they want in their life? And let me tell you, it all starts with neediness. In your neediness, you repel. In your completeness, you attract. And if you can grasp this, you can grasp the whole challenge that nice people have, because behind the being too nice facade, behind the niceness that most people have, hides a lot of insecurities, hides a lot of buried shame and guilt and frustration and anger and fear. And so what tends to happen is that deep within there is a wound, and that wound is often associated to I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve love. And so throughout their life they have created rules and strategies of what is needed for them to receive love, validation, approval, whether it's from family or boss or party or society. And so we develop traits and strategies of being like, well, if I'm nice and if I'm good to people and if I, meet their needs and if I listen to them and if I'm just, avoiding confrontation and if I'm not a problem for anybody, then I will be liked, I will be loved, and people will meet my needs and everything's gonna go well. That is the subconscious idea, is that if I avoid being a problem, if I avoid being disliked, then automatically people will like me and I'll get what I want, right? But the reality is that that is not the case, because in doing this, a lot of people are living unauthentic lives. And that leads to often a lot of passive aggressiveness, a lot of judgment, a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger when things are not going their way. But above all is the inability to be vulnerable. And we know that in life, if you are not able to be vulnerable with people or with yourself or with life overall in your endeavors, if you're afraid of being rejected, meaning if you're afraid of people disliking you, if you're afraid of making a mistake, if you're afraid of what could happen if you did something and it doesn't go perfectly well, then you will limit yourself in so many ways. But also what you'll do is that you'll prevent yourself from going into those places, from being seen in this weak way. And so you will just put on a facade and you'll become passive, because it's safer to not do something unless you absolutely know that you'll win and that it's gonna go well. And so a lot of people who are being too nice are actually very passive and just doing safe things. And that never leads to a happy, fulfilling life, to use your full potential. So you can start to see the challenge here. And I'm gonna give you a few examples, because this obviously manifests the most in relationships, but not only. And I really wanna give you 2 examples so that you can actually see how it is everywhere when you are acting from that place, from that identity. And so for example, if we take the dating things, either you are stuck because you see a woman or a man and immediately you put them on a pedestal, they're so sexy, she's the one, he's the one, they're gonna bring me everything, oh my God. Instantly you fall in love 10 times a day, and then you do nothing about it because you're too scared to actually step up. Or you're gonna date with somebody, it's going well, you start to like them, and now you have those thoughts that comes up and you start to become needy and you start to become a bit clingy and you start to receive a message and he or she read it but didn't respond straight away, and you start to create story and obsess, and that neediness starts to come off, starts to pull the other person off, and before you know it, they're gone. And so you see, this is coming from your own insecurities, from your own lack of self-love and lack of self-esteem, and so you're projecting a lot of things on the other person. Now this also manifest in other things. I mean, how many people chase success, money, a thing, a person, designer bags or clothes or whatever things, item or experiences that they think will make their life perfect, will give them the success, the validation, the recognition, the appreciation from their parents, from life, from society, from themselves that they truly crave. And so again, they put a thing or an experience or an outcome on a pedestal and they give it all the energy, importance straight away, and straight away they become needy. When I get it, then it's gonna happen, and when I get it, my life is gonna be perfect. And that's the subconscious chatter, okay? And before they know it, because they're so needy, they start to repel that thing. And when they see that things are not manifesting or coming into their life rapidly or the way they want it, they go into the victim thoughts. Oh, why is it not happening? It's not working for me. This is not this. What's wrong with me? Why is it, blah, 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 blah. The story goes on. And so they go into that defeated mentality and they start to become passive aggressive, bitter, fearful, anxious, stressed out. You see, the main challenge that people who are too nice struggle with is their need for external validation, importance. And when that is not there, or when they have somebody and they put all that pressure on that person, it is unsustainable. And that is the number one indication that your own self-image, your own relationship with yourself must change first. And so this is where the work lies. If you want to overcome being too nice and finishing last and actually stepping up in your life, creating the success, the love, the relationship, whatever it is that you want, it starts with you, with your own relationship with yourself. You gotta start to identify what is it that you're hiding. What is it that you don't want other people to know? What are the flaws, the embarrassment, the things that you think make you appear bad or unlovable in a certain way? What is it that makes you feel not good enough, or too this or too that, not enough of that? All those thoughts, beliefs, and projections that you have placed or that life has placed on you must be cleared off, because you cannot remain wounded in that way, not seeing your greatness, not seeing how much you deserve love and appreciation and so on, and be that source in your life, meaning being able to love yourself in a healthy manner, to respect yourself, to feel worthy of having great relationship, to be worthy of having people celebrate you and spend time with you and want to be with you for who you are right now, not for what you can give and create and so on, but just for who you are right now. But you must be that person first. And so the work is in becoming that person now. Removing the victim mentality, removing all that self-pity thought, all that defensiveness, all that helplessness, removing all those shame and guilt and embarrassment that are deeply buried in the nice guy, nice woman syndrome. And that itself is freeing, and that itself is personal mastery, because the moment you start to create a healthier self-image, a healthier relationship with yourself, is the moment where you can start to move forward and go after those things in a very different way. Because think about it, when your self-esteem is high, you show up in a different way, you think differently, your energy is differently, you no longer come from a needy, desperate way, you no longer put things on a pedestal so much, you have put yourself on a pedestal, you know your self-worth, you know your value, you know what you bring, you know you're beautiful, handsome, valuable, you know people will love you for who you are. You know that you can set boundaries, have confrontation, express yourself. You know that you don't need to be liked by everyone, and that you're okay to be vulnerable. So when you come from that place, you can see how dramatically different your life will be, your interactions, your relationship, your success, and how you will start to bring other things into your relationship. And that is what starts to completely transform your life. And so instead of finishing life, instead of being unfulfilling, instead of meeting everybody's needs but your own, you have reversed that. And that is what makes you extremely magnetic, charismatic. That is what will bring people to you. And this is when you will start to finish first in your own life, because you've put yourself first. And so this is the reason why people are struggling with being too nice, and why nice people tend to finish last, and what you can do to reverse this pattern. And so thank you for watching this video, guys. Let me know what you feel in the comments. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this type of videos. I will see you next time. Be well.